Hello and welcome back to the World Championship coverage. This is game two of round four. I already won the first one, so we are having a good start. Let's see what happens in the second one and go to the leaders and wonders. Player one in this game. So as we can see, there's four lab leaders: Einstein, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and Sid Meier. Also space flights, also internet for Sid Meier, and Empire State Building for Bill Gates. Charlie Chaplin with the Hollywood, Nelson Mandela being solid leader, and then Gandhi, something to keep in mind. There's the Red Cross also. H2, we have Maria Theresa with the ocean liner, James Watt with the railroad. We have Robespierre and Napoleon and Catherine for military action leaders. Maybe Kremlin for to go to a republic with the Robespierre. Darwin is also here in Gaudi, which I generally don't love. Mm, and then there's also two wonders that I don't really like with the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre. H1, solid wonders. There's Forbidden City, St. Peter's with the happy faces. Michelangelo, the Dream, Hanging Gardens, St. Peter's Basilica, Giga Culture. I don't think it's very good. I think you should focus on economic benefits, but yeah, can still be fine. You know, if it just happens to go that way. Then there is some strength with Genghis Khan, Jan Ziska, Barbarossa, Joan of Arc, military leaders also. Columbus is here, maybe with Colossus, maybe with Sun Tzu, maybe Colosseum can help a bit to draw in H2 in Gutenberg. Machu Picchu, Silk Road, and Magic Castle for some strength. And then HA, we have the pyramids, Acropolis, Hanging Gardens in a row, which only really pyramids great, I think, and then Colossus would be maybe okay. I like it a decent amount. Maybe for the to open up a nice Columbus. Colosseum is not the best. You have already two military actions here. It's good for Barbarossa, potentially Columbus. And yeah, Budicast is in a row. Hammurabi not, Clio not. And Moses Alexander is not great. Hippo is not great. Sun Tzu does have a lot of synergy with Barbarossa, Ziska, Columbus, so and even Colossus potentially. So I did decide to take that instead of the EG, just being a bit more flexible. There's only two more leaders here, and you don't know if you're gonna get anything good. And even if you get Clio, you don't know if you're gonna get a wonder. So you have now EG and Clio, and you don't even know if you're gonna get a wonder or what wonder you'll get. So I thought this was just a bit most flexible. Then Rocky does go for the EG with the hanging gardens. Seems fine. The pyramids get taken. Also makes sense. Boudica and two yellows. Then I can take one of these wonders if I want, which I do take the Colosseum, even though it's not the best, but maybe some happy face things with Rebellion and other things which I can draw. Although I guess there's Hanging Garden, so I can't really go for immigration that easily. But yeah, I think it's just still better than Acro, and I did want to take something instead of just floating kind of one CA, just taking a yellow card from HA. Yeah, Rocky just takes the Hammurabi, normal turn with the mine. Then Moses gets taken, not much choice. And Bully still needs a wonder, so he can take the Acropolis. Can also decide to just use the last action for maybe cultural heritage and wait for the Himeji Castle. Does neither actually go for Urban Grove. Then it's my turn. I see the inhabited territory because I kind of wanted to draw, or not draw, get two rocks because I don't really have a good action available for my fourth action. I can also do a naval trade agreement that maybe at some point to get some hope of winning that. Also can get a nice tactic going, maybe a bit higher. So I didn't really want to save it for like Columbus or something. Rocky decides to start building the hanging gardens a bit prematurely. Maybe just go for a normal turn with the religion. Actually, also takes the bread and circus and even patriotism, even though there's better stuff to take. Of course, a bit redundant. Also starts building the pyramids, Boristina, instead of also making just a philosophy. And then I was thinking maybe just take the stockpile to be able to go to 4 rocks, get 2 rocks from an event, and then build the pyramids right away. And then you just have the free philosophy there. Also see it here, and the warrior gets revealed. Starts building Himeji Castle, doesn't really have population free anymore to do anything. And yeah, uses his last action to basically get the cultural heritage out instead of using the pop. Only get punished really by religion, so I think that's fair. And it's my turn. I see the scientific breakthrough, which I was very happy about because I can already go into this alchemy right away, and then there's upgrade ones. And so that will hit nicely. I draw 2 tactics, and the rebellion is still in my hand, um, which is going to be seeded next, even though the hanging gardens is here. It does finish the hanging gardens very quickly, and I don't think he seeded anything, so it's not like he really wants to get the happy faces for an event. So here finishes the pyramids. Didn't not get the 2 rock events, so I guess wasn't punished in a way. He also didn't see it, but also takes patriotism. Everyone loves patriotism. Could have just take an EG maybe, but patriotism will work okay. It's not the worst thing ever because he does have a lot of open workers, and he will need to build some military. So it's not it can be defended, I think, but of course not very efficient. Then iron gets taken for 3 also. Not going for this just philosophy, maybe double, like basically double population philosophy. Not take something for like 3 because you also need to go. I mean, he has the Boudica, so maybe he can still get some science there. So it's not the end of the world, but that's still, it's just efficient to get that going, I think. And just yeah, just get that going and see what you can go into next turn. Maybe you need to start going into some knights or swordsmen. So yeah, it's definitely not guaranteed that you can just start for this to do this iron next turn. Though he does have 4 strength at least, but seems a bit expensive. Development of science gets revealed, so I guess what do I know? Everything is science. And I seeded the rebellion because I wasn't gonna have any issues, and player 3, player 4 can definitely have quite a bit of issues, especially now that Rocky took the bread and circuses away. I already opened the tactic, which honestly, something well, I don't think I regretted necessarily, but since no one actually has any swordsmen or knights, I think this is something with Sun Tzu that you should be a little bit careful of, maybe. When I did this, I was like, now they're really incentivized to take the knights, and then it might be difficult for me to go into them. You could even use this tactic to set the false path for them. Um, of course, I kind of want to use this maybe next turn because I'm going to be the weakest, and then I kind of want to keep a defense card. That's why I did it. But I'm also thinking getting the knights is the most important thing. So maybe do some mind games with even showing this tactic, knowing that I want to do this next turn anyway, so I don't really need to draw any cards this turn, so it's kind of free to use. And then maybe they will not go for the knights, and I can get the knights. And if I get the knights, then I have the naval trade agreement. I have the knight. I can still draw defense cards in the next turns, and then I can also bid on full army, which will be already 6 with the tactic, and then I have +1. It's already 7 base. So I think I could have waited with this tactic showing. I think that would be quite a nice play, actually. Yeah, I can just keep a naval trade agreement. Draw immigration, which is a bit hard to play in wealthy territory. Michelangelo gets taken for 3, which is yeah, a choice. This is probably his master plan when he took the bread and circuses. He's like, I want to go for big happy faces, which I think is very, very bad, actually. It's just not going to work in 4 players. You're just going to get behind too much. Before the game ends, you're going to get destroyed by probably military and other stuff. So losing too much, uh, losing too much economy in 4 players is just too scary. But yeah, he takes it, and yeah, no iron, no nothing, just the Hanging Gardens. So let's see how that works out, I guess. Orstina also still on 1 science. Now he can go with the philosophy from the event. And he takes the knights, which, yeah, of course. No, he takes knights. I will say there's not too many things that are very exciting here, though. So that probably would have happened either way. And also takes the bread, so might be safe for the rebellion in time. Bully also seats, and here's the population, so didn't really gain from the consumption last turn, but yeah, because now he got a 2 food population out. Decides to play it a bit greedy uh, with the iron instead of the knights, but we did get yeah, enough science from Boudica that he can still go into the knights, and the events that he can still go into the knights. I guess he used yeah, the development of civil life to use the iron, which is of course nice to get also a science discount there. And it's my turn, and I offered a naval trade. I expected them to accept it. And I can go for the Code of Law with my nice alchemy. Very nice. But yeah, now 2 knights are already gone, but at least it's player 3, player 4, so I have 75% chance to get the last one. But I would rather have them sooner than later because we just got a flip. But of course, at least there's inhabited territory there, there's scientific breakthrough there, there's rebellion there that I seeded, and I don't expect them to seed very aggressive strength defense when I am the one that has the Sun Tzu. Maybe green because he does have the Magic Castle boost. But I wasn't so scared to lose a lot of strength defense here. So that is the nice thing about Sun Tzu. I mean, I think Sun Tzu pushing strength defense can be very dangerous because they often sort of react quite strongly. So if you push strength defense when you don't have your military tech secured, it can be a bit dangerous for sure. So I think this kind of worked out for me that I was able to just push other stuff and can actually play safe while not having the tactic going in. And I'm very happy to stick to the EG there that everyone skipped. Nice 3 rocks. The Patriotism A is going in for a warrior. Doesn't just go for the swordman, which is a bit Weird, maybe. Here's a scientific breakthrough, so getting a lot of science. Very nice. Red circuses, so safe from the rebellion. If that was rebellion, would have been nice, of course. But yeah. And here does take the Forbidden City to solve the happy faces also soon, so it would be nice to push out the thing. Remains at 4 strength. And now it's just kind of time to build the Colosseum with the engineering genius. It's nice. And then I can just take the nice rich land to set up for my iron, and I just make the iron already because I don't really have anything to do with my last CA. There is a knight here for 3, but I really didn't want to take it for 3 because it was very difficult, and then Rocky already has swordsman. If he wants to take the knight for 3, it's just very suspicious. Also doesn't really have this population anymore. Now, talking about suspicious, he's really spamming the Brandon circuses, which, yeah, again, it's not recommended. He's gonna run away with this culture, even though I had a Magic Castle also producing some culture here, but yeah, they're gonna run away with the culture, but it has no economic benefits whatsoever. So that is gonna hurt long term. Culture influence though, so you know, this is the plan. +7 must be good. Revolution is probably necessary, honestly, because he has some 3+2, and so it will be very difficult to get into an H2 government unless he gets Robespierre. And he does have the pyramid, so can play with 6 CA for a while and be okay. Plays a knight, waiting for me to give him the tactic. And yeah, can play the Forbidden City. No one actually pushes for some reason, even though I am the weakest. So I'm not really sure why no one actually likes to push, but that's okay, I guess. At least I can't get punished by a strength defense. So now I do actually push, even though I am weakest. Because I thought it would be nice to get the inhabited territory. And it seemed like people were not that keen in pushing. I don't know. I don't know what that means, I guess. Kind of felt like that means that they... I don't know what that means. It's just weird. It could mean that they want to get stronger to win their strength event, but I don't think that's really happened. So, like, Bully didn't really get strongest. So it feels like it doesn't really want to win strength event. But yeah, I can take the knight and Barbarossa from the top just before the age ends. And there's actually 2 more people that also don't have a leader, so it was quite nice that I can do this. Also, it exactly makes me able to do this play where I can go to 12. Oh yeah, that was another thing. Yeah, right, because I was getting the Barbarossa and I was like, okay, I can get strong. So I can just see the border conflict here, basically. That's what I did. And push the deck a bit in to get there. Although Borostina can get into 13 strength, not this turn, but the turn after. So Rocky does at least get the strength up a bit, but doesn't have any eco going still at the start of H2. And they both lose their leader, and Inhabited Territory comes out. I can actually just win it for just a knight. I probably bit a whole army, but happy to win it for just a knight. And the pact actually working out, saving me a whole warrior here. Which is kind of cool. Oh, you can already get it. Oh, wait. Oh, was it own? Oh, it was his own, yeah. And then Jan Ziska, but it's not the best because doesn't actually get any more tactic value and he doesn't have any more food to make more knights, so actually completely fine to give that away or like to have him to yeah, see him have that. Bully's still on 1 science per turn, but does have the alchemy. Maybe he can go into the alchemy and then build it directly after all this time. Can at least save something. There's also Robespierre running around there. So like the reading is opened here. I see it here, the foray. So another nice strength event that I hope to win. And there was actually a strength event in there, which is the Reign of Terror. So I'm happy that I didn't get hit by that. And I do take the selective reading. 2 people have irrigation, but they didn't go into it, so that could be quite bad if I skip that. So yeah, it kind of worked out fine. I do go. Sorry, wait, sorry. Oh yeah, no, that was okay. No. Yeah, Rocky doesn't see it, gets a bit stronger. Takes the journalism for 2. Again, working in mysterious way. I mean, the iron needs to go up. Um, and he needs to start making iron. You have the Michelangelo. There's also even a watt, maybe like a watt into a selective breeding. Um, Bully wins this one. Yeah, he got the cartography, so I was expecting maybe another colony, but yeah, it is the strategic territory. He gets a war warrior. All fine. Selective breeding gets taken. All 3 selective breeding right away in the row. Maybe James Watt could be an idea here for him. Rocky probably can go into iron. I already have iron. So, yeah, and another iron. So, he could maybe just take a James Watt and just go into selective breeding because right now this Janziska is actually not doing anything. And he is low on resources and stuff. So, I think this James Watt could be quite nice for him. Because he's just going to be able to take the first call. But does not do it. Does take abandon medieval army for medieval army, upgraded. And the breakthroughs, of course, solid. And here's a Robespierre plus a Republic for Mr. 1 science per turn. Somehow manages to get away with it every time. And can even take such a breeding. And then takes Genghis Khan, which is very funny that you go into the H2 leader, then still takes Genghis Khan. I don't think it's very good. I think you should just take the EG. It's like 4 rocks right there. And, he has this big. He has rocks and he has the CA to take stuff. So I think I can just build some stuff, some wonders. I don't think this Genghis Khan will do much because the third MA is actually like if you already had more than 3 MA, then maybe you go into Genghis Khan, but the third MA is already worth quite a bit. And he does have the knights to go into already, so I don't know. I think this EG is probably a bit better, but it's kind of funny. Let's see if he actually uses it. And there is a call here. And the foray comes out. I see that developed territory. 1. And yeah, now there's a James Watt. I already have selected breeding in hand. I played the iron, but there's also a call here. And my Barbarossa I mean, okay, I can go into selective breeding with the double reach and I can go up pretty soon and get some more value out of it. But I think this James Watt into call looked a little bit too juicy. So I just do that. And it also gives me right away an upgrade here instead of not having enough for that. Some nice things here, but I don't really need the revolution idea anyway, and the EG, I don't know if I can use it. But there's also some pretty bad wonders. Like the railroad is already gone, and then there's only these two that I really like, so I don't really care about it too much. And Rocky here is going on his culture train with journalism. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on, honestly. Just get the iron going. You even have the efficient upgrade already. Just take the railroad, get some rocks, get the 5 strength from this, which you will probably need soon. Let's get some of these cards. Or, yeah. I mean, a lot of stuff. Just not really this. Just triple iron upgrade, you know, like whatever. You are playing Michelangelo. Boristina. I mean, he is +9. He's running away. I get uncertain borders, which I did not see. So it's a nice bonus. So now I already have +3 yellow tokens in total. There's rivalmen here, cannons here, so you can get nice flexibility on his military tax if he wants to. He makes one upgrade. And he actually decides to go for the opera. Now, maybe if you have a classic army, you don't need to take the cannon, but at least I would really take one of these two. Probably the patriotism maybe now, because I don't know what the next urban building is gonna be. It's probably gonna be, well, maybe another this. Actually, another Red Circus needs to come down. So yeah, you can take the urban growth. Because yeah, the MA is also not needed from the patriotism. So yeah, but yeah, if you don't have a tactic, you probably just take cannon. But this opera is just no good, I think, because I mean you still need the call to come. I mean, there's just way too much stuff to do, and you have 3 rocks per turn. So please get something that gives you a full turn of rocks, you know. Oh, sorry, he had one more CA. So yeah, take patriotism, but yeah, then take patriotism and urban growth or the cannon, but not the opera. Basically, that's like the last one that you would take. Because there's also no Marlene or anything, no Bach. I mean, there's nothing here really. So yeah, Bully starts building the knights, so does not go for the Genghis Khan here. He's pretty low on everything except for rocks, but he does have a lot of CA, so that can help. He does go for a strategy for his Republic, which seems like, okay, you do have a Republic, so it is needed. At the same time, you have way too much other stuff to do already, right? I mean, you're gonna need to selective breeding is more important than the strategy, and then you also probably need uh, a technology here. And maybe you can hope for like a communism to actually fix your, you know, uh, fix your military actions, or just get a what military theory later, I guess. It's just, I mean, you really want this strategy, but it costs 3 and you're never gonna go into this. I mean, I really wonder when this will be played. Because like I said, I mean, you have +3 here, you can go +4 at some point, and this takes 1 turn, 2 turns. And then you get like the cannon or the rifleman, it's another 2 turns. So it's like already like 4 turns. So like, you know, at some point you need a heavy phase solution. Maybe just go for happy face solution and go for the Kremlin, like I said before with the Robespierre. I think that would be nicer than the strategy. And look at these. I mean, these are also nice, right? Or even the team sport. Just yeah, it's too greedy. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but I think it's too greedy. Like not really understanding the pace of the game. Rats, some very late rats don't get punished too much though. I was very happy that I got the upgrade last turn, but actually didn't do anything for my food. But okay, I get another free upgrade with the rich land. Um, let's see actually, because oh yeah, the common of course. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, do I not just go for the call and some upgrade? But of course I need to go for the common, and then I don't have enough science. Oh, I can go actually with the cultural heritage here. Will I do that? I get the team sport. Yeah, okay, this also makes sense, I think. Get some good yellows, and then I can just go into the call next turn. Get strongest, because there's also still border conflict, which is another thing that knew that I could get 3 more rocks from. So then I can also get the call upgrades a bit, yeah, relatively easy. Yeah, pact, irrigation needs to be played. There's no more selective reading. He goes for the Charles Darwin with his library build. How much is he ahead now? Yeah, I mean compared to me like 50, like yeah 40. But yeah, here's the downside. He is struggling militarily, economically. And here is the heavy cavalry, or here is the classic army. So that made sense that he skipped the cannons. Or I mean, I still think the cannons is a good take, but maybe I would have taken just like 2 yellows. I mean, the opera is still in hand, so let's see. But yeah, here's the classic army, which honestly, um, yeah, never mind. Yeah, would be nice if I get the last rifleman, but he also wants a rifleman, so he gets like 75% to get these compared to me. He will not take the rifleman most likely. But yeah, not getting a tactic is pretty annoying. So I really need this rifleman kind of. And goes for yeah this. I mean, it would be nice to get to use the urban growth on this instead of the opera being in the hand maybe, but yeah. Crusades, okay. I am not strongest anymore, so I can't win the border conflict, which was a bit sad. I kind of really wanted the rocks. Goes for the Kremlin, which yeah I mentioned before, right, with the strategy. But he does not have a happy face solution, and then there's no happy face in the deck anymore. And there's also gonna be the end of the age. It's gonna be unhappy, but there's gonna be a very funny no, let's call it synergy or uh oh, what is it called? Like mechanic. There's a very funny mechanic that I did not know about actually. Maybe I've heard it somewhere. Like sometimes you read something and you don't know what it means. But I think someone said something about this before, maybe. But this is definitely the first time I saw it. I don't know if Bully knows about it. I feel like he just locked into it, but let's just say he's a five hat and he knew about it because this Kremlin is a bit annoying, right? With yeah, end of the age already, one happy phase, then another unhappy phase, and yeah, I mean how to fix that, right? No happy phases in the deck, so let's see what happens. He's also weakest. I seed. There's the border conflict. I seed Cold War. A lot of nice strength events in the deck that I want to win now. But yeah, I don't win the border conflict, but I can still get one upgrade. Yeah, this iron is useless, but it's okay, I guess. I do get the cannon, but the rifleman was taken. So I don't have a tactic to go into, but at least this medieval army is quite strong. We're still like you get 6 instead of 8, so you don't lose that much. But of course, also the upgrades gives you strength. But at least I do have 3 yellow tokens, which makes me able to just brute force with 6 guys instead of them having 4 guys, just like brute force the strength in that way. which, you know, it's not a perfect deal, but it's like works fine. Play the cultural heritage before the age ends, and then I take the urban growth. Still no tactic. Cole finally gets played and finally one upgrade, but yeah, it's looking very bad for him. Does get the cavalryman for to go into the tactic soon. And then EG gets played and frugality. But he does lose 2 yellow tokens, which hurts. But at least he has the happy faces, guys. Yeah, he does have the happy faces. Yeah, 2 yellow tokens for Burstina, which I'm sure he's quite happy with. The Good Harvest comes out of nowhere, and I just get 6 food, so that's pretty cool. There was like some late rats and some late good harvest. There's also something still on top. Um, I don't know why the color is like black, but or like brown. Hmm. Okay. So that can be Dark Ages or something annoying, but I don't have that much. So let's see. Architecture, and then he actually goes for a lab upgrade, which honestly I respect it. Okay, it's like okay, because there are a lot of lab leaders. So even if you get like computers and you have like too much science in a way, there's like triple lab leaders. So you're not really gonna be so sad about it having too much science. Not really a thing. Yeah, here there's already an uprising, and then now there's already a Kremlin as well. So there's like no way to get. Oh, I can make one reserves, I guess, to get out of one. And now there's a developed territory, which I just bid a little bit like a warrior, and that's enough. But here's the interaction. The Kremlin, because he actually does not have any happy faces, because this is not a happy face, he gets -1 happy face, and -1 with the Kremlin actually counts as 0. So he has 0 happy faces, which is 3 unhappy faces then because of the workers, basically. So it's like kind of weird how they say it. It's like negative because it's like 0 happy faces. Then it doesn't say like, oh, you're on -3 happy face. It's just they say you have 0 happy face, which is 3 unhappy workers, and this is -1. It goes to 0 again. It's like a little bit weird, but so basically 0 happy faces is then -3, but that is how they count it. It's like 0, and then because of the Forbidden City, 2 of them get ignored, and so you only have 1 unhappy face. And then with the border conflict, he actually needs to remove an urban building, or not an urban building, one of the buildings, right? And then he just loses the farm, and actually he doesn't have an uprising. If this was actually 2 happy faces, he would actually have a total count of 2 happy faces -1 is 1 happy face, and he would need 3 happy faces. And then he would have 1 here, so then he would actually have an uprising. But because of Forbidden City, so Forbidden City here is actually better than happy faces, when normally, of course, it's worse when with all the events. But so this is the at least the I think I mean I guess the same is like for some whatever it's called, like hybrid war could happen to get more unhappy faces. I think, oh yeah, communism, I guess. But yeah, so if you just don't have any happy faces and you go into minus happy faces, the Forbidden City actually is better than happy faces because you cannot go below 0. So that's what I learned. So that's pretty funny. And because of the border conflict, he doesn't even have to destroy anything. He doesn't have to use the reserves for food to get out of that. But yeah, I thought he would just get completely destroyed, but he's a genius. especially because of the border conflict as well. You know, it's just way too funny actually. It's like way too funny to me. And he also gets the mechanized agriculture, so he doesn't really get into trouble with his food either, with the eventual upgrade as well. And he just uses the rocks from the thing instead. Reserves. Now here is the most important turn, and I mess it up. There's freedom of movement. I seeded. I think I seeded. I seeded freedom of movement actually last turn, and then now I seeded iconoclasm. But I used the freedom of movement to move this because I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a take the computers and gonna have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of food because we got the +6 food last turn from the good harvest, and then we get computers, so I can upgrade this with a lot of rocks, and I upgrade this and get into some movies or other stuff. So I need a lot of rocks, and now they are cheap, and yeah, I thought that would maybe be nice. And then I was like, okay, I need some need. I kind of want to be a little bit stronger because now I'm at 12, and then I go team sports, and then I don't have any happy face issues with happy face events maybe coming. Although I do have civil unrest already in hand, to be honest. Mm, so I was like, okay, then I go back to 14, then I'm again top two strongest because I do want to win this Cold War. Um, so I think I like sort of made the mistake of doing some things at the start and then figuring out what else I wanted to do. And I thought that I needed to make a choice between Air Force or computers here. But I was like, oh, if you take them both, there's no way you're like one CA left, and there's no way that can be good, right? So I was like, just do all this stuff and then take one of them. But actually, what I should have done is just keep the cavalry here, use the freedom of movement to just upgrade this into call, and then I actually just haven't used anything yet, and I'm still stronger because I keep the 2 strength here, and then I can just take Air Force and computers, just go into one-time corruption probably. I mean, yes, for sure, like one-time corruption. But then I have Air Force and computers, which is like the only 2 things that I really need for the rest of the game. I can just go into computers, bomb, 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 and I will have uh, Air Forces for afterwards, and then that's just GG. So I thought I needed to make a choice, and that was very stupid. But if I have to make a choice, I think the correct choice is actually computers when pretty much every time I just take Air Forces whenever I see them. But in this case, with yeah, this H3 with 4 lab leaders, spaceflight, internet, Empire State even. Because if you just go into a big economy like I have, then getting the computers and just just everything. I mean, also I need more science production. That's like the last thing that I need. So I think the computers here is stronger than the air forces. Also, I have a big enough economy that I can just defend even with just again like kind of like brute forcing if I don't get other air forces. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I did go for the computers, but I could have just taken them both. I am able to get this cavalryman as well. I could have just taken these 3 maybe, I think, unless I have like hand size issues. I do remember something about hand size issues. Or what? No, right? There's no way, right? And the political strength comes out, by the way, which is a bit sad, of course. Um, I mean, I have 2, 4, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I had Richland, and I had but I can just use this. Yeah, I can. I mean, I can do 7, right? So I have Richland. Oh, and and urban growth and teams. Oh, I do. I did. Oh, I did have issues with my hand size, right? Let's look at the turn again, actually. Maybe I wasn't stupid. Maybe it was just impossible in a way. I have six. Ah, no, there's no way it's impossible. No, of course not impossible. I can just use one anything. Three, six, seven. Yeah, I can just use one of anything and then take these two, and that's just good enough. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I would upgrade this with a Richland probably then, and then just take those two. But then because of the Richland, then this costs only one. And then I will have corruption. I will always have corruption. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I will always have corruption. So I can just. Or no, wait. Sorry, no, because no, actually, with the freedom of movement, yeah, I upgrade this. Oh my god, I upgrade this with the freedom of movement, so that is four, and then I upgrade with the thing again, which is five. So I get rid of three blue tokens, which I guess not enough. But yeah, at least then I have five cards in my hand, and I just take these two, and that's GG. Okay, yeah. So now that was just a mistake, and quite a big mistake. So let's see if that throws the game. Air Force is of course gone, and if you see my last video, you know that now my chance to get Air Force is actually only 50-50 to get any Air Force. And Bursine actually aggresses and succeeds, so that is Rocky getting into some real problems. Bill Gates from the top and gets taken, which I think is correct. Also really needs the extra rocks here. Was really on low rocks, but with the pact and Bill Gates +4. And here is finally the opera. But yeah. Yeah, like normally you would actually have like, maybe a call. No, maybe also H3 tier. H3 government at some point would be nice. So yeah, and there this opera also there's no synergy. So yeah, I still think this opera is just kind of useless. Like there's also just the movies at some point or anything else that you want at this point. Yeah, here Nelson Mandela gets taken. Of course, is free. It's still worth it. Now he really needs some happy faces. Basically, pro sport has a million civil actions, but yeah, Cold War. Um, yeah, so I think at this point, I mean, he is ahead with the culture, but he's so below low that I'm expecting him to probably be last. Then Bill Gates, but he's not a real Bill Gates unless he gets maybe a computer next round. And by the way, he really should have taken this scientific method on his turn. Because if you just have the scientific method with architecture, it only costs one to upgrade. And you get one science and one rock. So for one upgrade, you get two resources. And also 3 points at the end, by the way. And yeah, he can maybe still go for computers. Although I don't really think so. He can also still go for computers. Um, so I don't know if waiting for computers is so good when it's just right here. You don't know, like, it can also be a long time before they come. So I think this scientific method actually very strong. Just use three rocks and six science and a few actions, of course, but then get +6 on the production. So you get it back. The science you get back in 2 turns, and the rocks you get back in the same turn basically. So yeah, I think that was Maybe something that you don't normally look at, but I think would have been pretty good move, or just yeah, quite a good move, the best move. Um, yeah, so that's yeah. If he gets computers, maybe he can do something. But yeah, he's on 22 plus 0, not really that great production, just like fine. So yeah, can go either way. And then bully is solid if you get pro sports, so you can just get like +6 uh extra culture, get some extra strength, and then that will be yes 10 CA, okay production, and then it would be very hard for me to keep up. I have very big prod, and I feel pretty good. I need to start getting somewhere though. There is a Sid Meier here, which I will take, but he's not that strong yet. I actually choose to not go into him right away, just to get the 2 more science. Now that finally the railroad gets finished, but yeah, so everything is just off by a few turns, and he actually goes into military theory, which, I mean, sure, I mean, you need some strength at some point, but now you have a 1+1, and for 12 you can just go into the common one at least. Then you also have this, but then you have 2 CA extra. But what I would probably do is even just take the communism and then go into the communism next turn. And then you actually will have, and just don't use the military theory at all, just to use the communism, then you actually have still this cavalryman to, um, yeah, use. So basically this turn cavalryman probably deploy and then take the communism. The next turn you can make cavalryman or whatever what is going on. He plays Rev Idea, yeah. So he doesn't need to play the Rev Idea to go into Cavalryman. So he just play the Cavalryman instead of Rev Idea and take the Communism instead of Common. And funny enough, he's running out of happy faces now, but yeah, he has enough workers here that he can just take the Communism next turn and then make a Cavalryman and start building into Cavalryman. And then you actually still have some science because this costs 11, so this 6, so he has another 5. So now this 1 goes away, so it goes back to 6. So he needs like 1 ref idea to go into the Air Force, and then he can actually protect himself and maybe protect his culture, not get warred or something. So this is just really kind of just how do you say it, showing in the tower or something, like this kind of game over move. Unless no one draws any aggressions or wars, or I don't know. Like, second Air Force comes down. Sad to see. Military theory. Now he's actually also getting a bit scary because there's a rev idea into Air Force now with military theory, and he's also starting to build. So yeah, need to prepare for that now. Bully also makes a bit of strength now, strategy, and some riflemen, and then doesn't actually get the +2 from the classic army. I guess it doesn't matter too much, and he just wants to draw, which I can respect. Um, yeah, yeah. Here I got the international tourism down. I put the impact of science in last turn, but yeah, the international tourism. I decided to pick player 2 because I actually thought he was gonna be the least amount of threat here. And I thought player 4 would be the most amount of threat, but player 3 is still also a bit of a wild card. So I can just give away 2 culture and get 2 culture. Well, basically, I give away 0 culture because I don't care about this guy. For the for the uh, for the yeah for the player for the uh contesting contesting the winner of the game basically. Whatever do I want to say? So I give away 0, I gain 2, or I give away 2 and I gain 3, which is worse. And there's also maybe a chance that he would not even accept. Maybe he doesn't know that I will also go into this one and thinks it's 1 versus 3, or he just thinks I'm the biggest contender and he doesn't want to trade 1 for 3, which is honestly very reasonable. So I think this was definitely the pick for the pack, the pick for the pact. And I did draw this tactic, which I mean I still haven't seen the modern infantry for the other tactic. So, but I can start building towards this. Maybe even go for outdated one. And I did draw a war, so it would be nice to maybe war someone at some point. But I don't have very good chances for the air forces right now, so that is a bit of a problem. But yeah, I decided to go for a red cross here, and I think it's nice detail that I care mostly about player 4. So if player 2 and player 3 get a step, again, same thing as the pact. I don't really care too much. So I gain 18 plus 3, 21 against the bully. And also the food doesn't really matter too much because I'm gonna probably upgrade modern infantry soon, hopefully. So I don't really need more units. Rocky actually goes for the internet, which is just never gonna be big at all. So I would just take like a reserve or something. And another war gets declared. This time War of Culture. As expected a little bit. You can see the danger. He breaks a mine to get the Air Force. He also makes my Red Cross, which I like to see that Bully does not get anything from it. And he takes the reserves. The computers was not able to get or didn't felt yeah I don't know. Guess he yeah decided it was not worth it, which I didn't really look at. But if you go to war, it's probably correct. But maybe you can delay the war a little bit or something. But maybe it's 2 wars, then it's also maybe different. Mm, but yeah, here developed church. I don't really need any of it. Well, it would be nice, but I'm a little bit low strength wise, and I don't have a tactic, so I kind of need my defense cards for an aggression, and so I could basically go for 1 card plus this. I also only need 2 knights for the tactic, and then I can still defend with these, which is kind of what would have worked. But yeah, of course. Or wait, yeah. So I bid for. I mean, I don't know how much he bid, but he wanted for 4 only. And he decides to go for another farm here. Um, he has a lot of yellow cards. Time is kind of running out. There's a professional sport here. He actually took military theory, or sorry, military buildup and reserve from 3, and then goes for the farm upgrade. It seems like just taking the pro sport and just making with the urban growth and just maybe like a reserves for the an extra guy, and then just getting into pro sport, double pro sport. Suddenly you have +8 strength from that. Suddenly you have +6 culture. No more happy face issues ever. Actually, go to 7, right? Actually, go to 7 because of Kremlin, I guess. But yeah, still +5 is pretty sick, you know, and the game is almost over. So that's probably the first thing you need to do, and then maybe you can still take like patriotism or something instead of reserves because you're, or like military buildup and patriotism or something. And then do you still have, I mean, this is 14. This cost 8, right? Yeah, I mean, this is basically so. I mean, maybe you just make one pro sport now and you still do this. I mean, you have to take the pro sport. You have to take the pro sport. I mean, you can still take the pro sport now, but yeah, I think you should just go into the pro sport, get the +4 strength. I mean, maybe you just use some reserves for the units. But I mean, you gotta go probably just double pro sport. Like, I mean, yeah, the farm is. I mean, you don't really have that. I mean, okay, you have military buildup, so you do have some rocks, I guess. But yeah, pro sport, make 2 pro sport. You still have 6 food next turn, so you can make one more guy next turn. Yeah, but you just have +5 culture per turn, you know? And then, I mean, you have the thing. Yeah, and then you probably just say that you just take the military buildup to defend. You do have 5 military actions. And then you can always sort of destroy stuff to defend, and then this guy is probably a better target to attack anyway. And you get +8 from the pro sport, and you can get this again, and then get +2 from this pretty soon, plus another 2 from this, that's another +4. So that's another +12. And then, yeah, probably want to get. I mean, at least this does open up the Air Force defense, maybe is something, but I mean, it also depends, I guess, how. Yeah, no, I mean, I think he needs a bit more basically, or he's gonna get third. So I think you need to take a little bit of risk and just go for pro sport. He just, oof, sorry, what? He destroyed a mine instead of just reserves up for to get 4 food. I mean, that is definitely nonsense. Okay, some things happened. Economic progress. Another two rocks gone, so that's already the 4 rocks gone right away that he could have. Yeah, like now he has to use the reserves for rocks, and yeah. So yeah, okay. This is very nice for me. You get 14 in total. He gets a lot of food though, so that's nice, I guess. That's if you knew that, then maybe the food upgrade's better. But don't destroy or mine. And yeah, probably secure this pro sport. Arguably, I mean, maybe he takes it, but there's still one more. Yeah, but I mean, at least don't remove this iron thing, and I mean, maybe just make one pro sport and then upgrade this or something. I don't know. It just it's a tough turn, but especially if you know that economic progress is in there. But I mean, no, he doesn't know economic progress is in there because then he would never do that line where he kills the mine, so he doesn't even know that. But yeah, I don't know. That seemed wrong though. Pro sports. Pro sports. But yeah, I just make sure that I don't get warred here. I could build like a computer, but uh yeah, not get warred is more important. Nil pact. And yeah, he doesn't even have enough to make the cavalryman. start building, yeah, this military theory, And, I mean, not even that big of a war up there. I mean, could be, not even that big, but now this is a lot bigger. 70. They'll still go for the computers. Iconoclasm. There is now the pro sport here. Air Force. Yeah, so he does open up this with the Air Force. But yeah, he's already. Well, I guess if he didn't open this up, maybe he would have gotten Ward instead. Is that even true? Not really, right? Because this actually also just still have the culture, so they're sort of equal. True. No, I mean this is still much worse than this still. But if he can win a lot more here, like he can, if he needs to, he can make like double double army even, and some pro sports. Then has much better defense than Rocky. So, and then he can also sacrifice for another at least like 6 strength. So yeah, he would probably not get ward basically is the idea. So you can greet not opening up the Air Force. And he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. His hand is full, man. Oh. And finally the modern infantry comes, and yeah, I can just get into that tactic. Go to 62. Get the ESB, which before it was like some internet, but I also wanted to get into the Red Cross potentially, and I knew that this ESB would be pretty good for me, and there was also space flight, so I felt like this was gonna happen, which it did. So now right now my ESB is like 27. Rocky goes for a little bit more strength, but it's not nearly enough. And even another aggression, so yeah, he's really getting destroyed now. But still has decent amount, honestly. But that's before impacts. Also, maybe he wanted to see the Gandhi, but he can still get war. But I guess maybe it would be enough because then he gets war, but cannot make any unit. So and maybe the game would be over before he can get a big war. So yeah, he actually had some chances there if he saw the Gandhi on time. Interestingly enough, although yeah, I mean yeah, yeah. I think if oh yeah, this was like some insane stuff. If he didn't open the opera though, maybe he can maybe he can go into some uh fundamentalism or something at some point. But yeah, there the opera did get opened at some point. So not only did he take it, but he also opened it, but he never put anything on it. And this really blew my mind. I'm not gonna lie. Like 25, 24. There's zero reason for this because you're just losing 3 population. Like there's like no impact that profit is except for impact of at territory, but they can't both have it for one. And then, I mean, you have like they have so many impacts, like impact of strength, even impact of population is not even good, even though you get two more guys, but you lose 3. So and then, I mean, harmony sometimes, and just even him getting away. I mean, he can get aggressed, and he could normally aggress someone else. Maybe doesn't have one, but Like, what's going on? They even get me the strength for the Empire State. So I mean, yeah, no, that's just a little bit mind blowing, honestly. Not gonna lie. And his hand is full again. What is going on? Well, now finally he lost some cards at the end of the age. Um, yeah, and I just did a little aggression. I could have aggressed Boristina actually, but it didn't really matter. And I got a 36 Empire State Building. And yeah. Technology. 16444, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, that's 8. 16888. Some computers. Civil service. So let's get the progress going. A bit of science, which I seeded. I seeded the index of science and balance. But this computer did win it in the end. That's a bit annoying, but doesn't really matter, to be honest. Finally, the pro sports are down, guys. We did it. Of course, good for impact too. And goes for the strongest for air forces. There's the impact balance. But yeah, it's mainly this 3 and 4. And impact of strength. And yeah, there you go. And Boristina losing 10 points for impact of strength because of the territory, and also giving me 9 points for the ESB. That's already 19 points. And also giving me another 5 points because I'm now ahead. So it's like, yeah, infinite points. Impact of architecture. Yes. Pro sports coming in hot. Yeah, of course, Rocky doesn't have any impacts that are good. Yeah, here's the impact of progress, which is actually surprisingly insanely bad for me. When I have like a computer build. Apparently I did everything except for blue technologies. But yeah, there's just no way to catch me anymore. Impact of government. And the last one, impact of population, which also didn't even benefit from the inhabited territory. And so not even impact of colony is in there. Like everything that was in there was actually anti-synergy with taking that. Not really sure what that's about, but we win the second one. And yeah, Borussia with the wars still punched into second place. Bully stalled out a bit in the end because, yeah, I mean, okay, 40 points is quite a bit. But never really got the pro sports going. And Rocky, yeah, with the surge, double bread and circuses and hanging gardens with the Michelangelo is just not really gonna work, unfortunately. And then also even going for the library instead of just some iron upgrades and stuff. Actually, if he got some Gandhi maybe early, then if he doesn't get Ward, then he could still be second, funnily enough. But yeah, maybe he would still get Ward, but would definitely be much smaller war. So it could have worked out, funnily enough, surprisingly. Yeah, the Gandhi definitely made it a lot better of a gamble, I guess. If you get the Gandhi and people can't get through. But I mean, maybe people also could have just taken the communism to get through if they really wanted to. I mean, I would have done that if I had some more options, but I uh, decided to not take the air forces. Yeah. So yeah, yeah, we get another win at least. I definitely also made this. Yeah, skipping the air force was quite a big mistake, but we were ahead by too much, and that means that this is the standing right now, 12, 6, 2, 0. So actually it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 is not that big of a lead, but pretty big lead for the other ones. And yeah, we'll see what happens in the 3-player games. And I'll see you then. Bye bye.